ein herzliches Willkommen zurück bei der Cat Lady. Der letzte Teil ist jetzt schon etwas her, ein bisschen über 2 Monate und ich dachte, jetzt ist es mal wieder an der Zeit, in dieses kleine Kleinod reinzuschauen. Und wir starten diesen Teil mit einer Katze. Wir steuern eine Katze. So, und wie kommen wir... jetzt hier raus wollte ich sagen, aber ich glaube, ich weiß bereits wie. Und zwar müssen wir hier gegenlaufen und das Gitter, den Käfig, zu Fall bringen. So, jetzt sind wir hier auf uns allein gestellt bei diesem Psychopärchen. Das war echt mal extremst creepy, was da in der letzten Folge am Ende passiert ist. So, aber wie genau komme ich jetzt hier weg? Hier, guck, da ist sie. Da ist die gute Susan. Muss ich sie jetzt losbeißen oder so? Oh ne, die ist ja verätzt worden. Das ist böse. Aber, naja, passt zum Spiel. So, gute Susan, was machen wir? Loch. Springen rein. Nein, gehen wir erstmal wieder raus. Wir gucken erstmal weiter, was es hier sonst noch gibt. Komme ich sonst noch irgendwo hin? Nee. Müssen wir wohl hier ins Loch. So, ich denke mal, schneller laufen kann ich nicht, aber das muss auch nicht sein. Ist ja kein Shooter. Das Spiel ist langsam und bedächtig. Musik ist auch wieder sehr schön. Das mag ich bei dem Spiel. Oh Gott.
Hey there, gorgeous. I see my old lady brought the bleach again. What a shame. I really liked your eyes. It could have been a start of something very exciting for us, if you know what I mean. She does that every single time. What do they call it? Trust issues, that's it. Well, never mind. Plenty more fish in the sea. I'm not too fussy, but even I have some standards. Ain't gonna touch a bird like you, I gotta be honest, girl. You look like shit. But I wouldn't want you to think I'm not a kind man. Plenty of time until dinner, and you're in pain, so I've brought something to end your suffering. Think of it as an option. I've got this gun here. It's one of my favourites. There's just one bullet in the chamber. Large caliber. You'd be long dead before you'd feel any pain. Sounds good, doesn't it? I mean, it's just an idea, you know, no pressure. Of course. You can't see it. That bleach turned your eyes to nothing but jelly. So I'll just leave it for you here. Feel free to use it. That bullet's meant for you anyway. I'd better go now. We won't want to get caught red-handed again, would we? You naughty minx. What was that? You can't reach it? Well, what did you expect? Life's a real fucker sometimes.
Netter Mann. Ein sehr, sehr netter und netter Mann. Ne? Gut, weiter mit der Katze. Sehr netter und zuvorkommender Mann, richtig, das wollte ich sagen. So, wir sind jetzt tatsächlich im Waffenzimmer von dem kranken Schwein. So, schnappe ich mal den Schlüssel. Den schlucke ich. So, komme ich jetzt so einfach dran vorbei, ohne dass mich der blöde Penner wegknallt. Oh. Ich muss irgendwie am Licht vorbei. Wie soll ich denn das bitte schaffen? Nee, also hier werde ich sicherlich nichts machen können. Spucke Schlüssel aus. Ich kann den Schlüssel nicht ausspucken. Was soll ich denn machen? Okay, schauen wir mal weiter. Kann ich hier irgendwie den Schlüssel ausspucken? Okay, jetzt guckt er gerade nicht. Kann ich jetzt durch? Ja. Jetzt hat er gerade nicht hochgeguckt. Jetzt kann ich vielleicht die gute Susan befreien. Ich bin mal wieder sehr auf die liebreizende Frau gespannt. Die ist sehr nett. So, nun Susan, wirst du hoffentlich befreit von mir. Ah, es tut sich was.
What? Who's this? My eyes. I can't see a thing. That bitch. A key. Who are you? Say something. Anything. I should be able to unlock the handcuffs now.
Okay, ich kann jetzt nicht sehen. Ist jetzt auch sehr aufregend für ein Let's Play. So, untersuche ich mal die Waffe.
That idiot left his gun. No! No, no, no! I dropped it. Where is it? Where the hell is it?
Na wunderschön. Jetzt darf ich den Boden untersuchen.
I've got it.
Okay, es ist jetzt nicht so viel zu sehen, aber wir sehen genauso viel wie die Susan. Und das finde ich eigentlich ganz cool. Nein, ich erschieße mich nicht. Aber ich glaube, mir bleibt gar nichts anderes übrig, als mich zu erschießen. Wat Mut.
I'm sorry, Mitzi. I have to break my promise.
Aber ich kann ja nicht sterben, soweit ich das weiß. Was? Ernsthaft? Komm schon. Ich kann nicht wirklich tot sein. Ich dachte, ich könne nicht... Was zum Geier?
Hope you don't mind creepy posters.
It's your room. You can do what you like with it. But I definitely prefer this to fairies, rainbows, and pink unicorns. Did you make these?
No. My boyfriend made them. Some of them, anyway. So, Miss Ashworth, I happen to have a bottle of wine in my bag. I was going to leave it to Robert, but I forgot all about it.
Robert?
The guy with the rats?
Oh, yes. Of course.
So, shall we have a drink then? We could get to know each other a bit more. I know, I promised I won't get in the way. And, I mean, you don't have to if you don't feel like it. But since we're going to live together for a little while, it won't hurt if we talk to each other, will it?
Sind Sie sicher, dass Sie in Ihrem Zustand trinken können?
Are you sure you can drink in your condition?
It won't make me any worse, that's for sure. I'm not on any cancer medication. I feel good. The way I see it, I haven't got much time left, so I might as well make the most of it.
That makes sense, I suppose. We can have a drink if you like.
Great! I'll bring the wine. Oh, damn. It's one of those bottles with a cork. Have you got a bottle opener, Miss Ashworth?
In the kitchen. I'll go get it, shall I?
Yes, please. And while you're there, could you get a couple of glasses too?
So, da haben wir wieder die Mitzi. Nette Frau. Kann ich mit ihr nochmal sprechen? Sie erinnert mich an mich selbst, als ich jünger war. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich ihr komplett vertrauen kann, aber bisher scheint sie aufrichtig zu sein. Vielleicht gebe ich eine Chance.
Have you found that corkscrew yet? We also need some wine glasses.
Aber schick hat sie es hier eingerichtet, ne? Poster, die strahlen so viel positive Energie aus. Das mag ich ja so in diesem Spiel, diese positive Energie. So, was haben wir denn hier alles? Jetzt erstmal Weingläser. Und ein Korkenzieher. Wieso ist dieses Bild ist in Farbe? Sonst ist hier nichts in Farbe. Gucken wir mal Licht an. So, ab in die Küche. Jetzt schauen wir mal. Wo haben wir denn hier was? So, benutze Kaffeefreund. Nimm Korkenzieher. So, den haben wir schon mal. Kaffeeweißer brauchen wir nicht. Jetzt brauchen wir nur noch Gläser. Die finden wir bestimmt in irgendeiner Vitrine. Hier im Esszimmer. Machst du nochmal Licht an. So, finden wir die hier drin. Weingläser. Siehst du wohl. Eins für mich, eins für Mitzi. Gut, dann hätten wir alles, dann können wir jetzt was trinken. Ich hoffe, es passiert nichts Böses, aber mich wird hier nichts mehr wundern.
Have you found that corkscrew yet? We also need some wine glasses.
Ich hab alles. Also können wir ruhig loslegen.
There you go. Let's get that bottle open.
Yeah, but we'll need glasses too. See if you can find some.
Ich hab bereits. Gute Frau.
I found some wine glasses.
All right, that's all we need. Oh, and Miss Ashworth, I really must say this before we start.
Yeah?
I promise I won't cut your throat when you're asleep.
Very funny, Mitzi.
Oh, no, I mean it.
That's fine. But just so you know, I always sleep with my eyes open.
Also das große K. Willst du drüber reden? Oh, es regnet gar nicht mehr. Wie hast du vor, diesen Typen zu finden? Nimm mal das erste.
So, the big C. Want to talk about it?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really want to tell you about it like that. I put you in a very difficult position, I know. It's just that I was really desperate to get this room. I hope you can understand. This is the last and most important thing I must do before my time is up.
It's fine. You seem alright. It's just... I find it hard to trust people these days. Maybe it's time I opened my eyes to see others have problems too. Some, like yourself, even bigger than mine. What kind of cancer is it? Do you mind me asking?
Brain tumor. Her name is glioblastoma.
Her.
Yep, they're all girls, the way I imagine it. Just look at their names. Lymphoma, melanoma, myeloma, leukemia, sarcoma. Each of them a fucking goddess of death. Beautiful and ruthless.
You might just be right about that, Mitzi. I used to be a nurse. I know a few things about cancer. And I know glioblastoma. She's a real bitch.
Yeah, and yet she gets to be the prom queen before night ends, while I disappear down the back exit.
How long?
He said I had a year. But that was 6 months ago, so... yeah. Not awfully long.
Is there anything...
They've tried.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So am I. Do you want to talk about something else?
Wie hast du vor, diesen Typen zu finden?
How are you planning to find this guy?
I don't know yet. A bit of detective work, perhaps. It shouldn't be that hard, really. There are only 8 apartments here. 1 is yours. That leaves us with 7. I was hoping that you could give me a hand, actually. You know some of your neighbors, don't you?
Not many. I never really cared about them. They changed over the years, too. You probably also figured by now that this is not the sort of place where new neighbors are greeted with a freshly baked cake. You see a new face, you give them a blank stare as you pass them in the hall, and you forget about them a minute later.
That bad, eh?
Well, there's that bald guy who lives above me in flat 5. He came here recently to shout in my face. He's a nasty piece of work, but I really don't think he's the person you're looking for.
What does he do for a living?
I think he's a train driver.
I can't imagine somehow that my guy would be a train driver. Okay, that's good. Leaves us with just 6. Anyone else you know?
I'd have to think.
You know, maybe not tonight. Let's just talk about something else, okay? I have plenty of time. There's no need to rush this. Maybe tomorrow we could sit down together and make a plan. I could draw a simple map of the building, and with your help, mark down who lives where.
Sounds good to me, Mitzi.
Aber es regnet gar nicht mehr.
Oh, it's not raining anymore.
Oh well, I don't mind rain. Sometimes I even like it. But according to weather forecast, there's a nasty fog coming. Now that I'm actually scared of. I got lost in a fog once, when I was just 9 or 10. I remember I sat under a tree crying, thinking some monster would appear right in front of me and drag me away.
But now that you're a big girl, you know there are no monsters.
Yeah? How do you know?
Ich habe nie eins gesehen. Niemand hat eins gesehen. Die einzigen Monster sind wir, Mörder, Vergewaltiger, Brandstifter. Vielleicht hast du recht. Ich glaube an sie, wenn ich eins sehe. Ich nehme das hier, das klingt gut.
The only monsters are us. Murderers, rapists, arsonists. They're the real beasts. So far from humanity, they're no longer capable of feeling compassion or guilt. They're the ones we should really be afraid of. But whether they're lurking in the woods or fog or the darkness of our cellars, it's all irrelevant. You can't predict what happens. You can't do anything to stop it. There is only one way. You turn into a beast yourself, and like them, you show no mercy.
Whoa! Where did that come from, Miss Ashworth?
I just don't like murderers. They're nothing but parasites.
Du erwähntest einen Freund. Erzähl mir etwas über ihn.
You mentioned a boyfriend. Tell me something about him.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about him. His name is Jack. He's dead.
Oh.
Miss Ashworth, are you sure you want to listen about my miserable life? I don't want to bring you down. These aren't happy stories.
And I'm not a happy stories kind of person. I'm sure you've noticed by now.
I guess so. Anyway, I suppose I would have had to tell you about Jack sooner or later. After all, he is the main reason I'm here. I just don't know where to start.
Erzähl mir, wie ihr euch kennengelernt habt.
Tell me how you two met.
Oh, we knew each other for like forever. We grew up on the same street. It's funny how we seem to be made for each other. Perfect match. I always knew he was the guy for me, and I'm sure he never doubted that either. Jack was absolutely crazy about me. We thought one day we would marry, have children, be happy. I never had many friends because I had Jack. I didn't need anybody else. You know, if there's one thing I'm really grateful for in my life, it's that I got to experience this pure, perfect love. Some people go through a lifetime without knowing how it feels.
Wie hat er die Neuigkeiten mit deinem Krebs aufgenommen? Nee, wie ist er gestorben? Ist gut.
How did he die? How did he die?
I'll get to that, Miss Ashworth. Let me just tell you more about him first, so you could understand what happened.
Wie hat er die Neuigkeiten mit deinem Krebs aufgenommen? Oder Jack hat diese Bilder an deiner Wand gemacht. War er ein Künstler?
Jack made those pictures on your wall. Was he an artist?
He always liked all kinds of morbid stuff, whether it was music, movies, paintings. So do I, really. We had that in common, amongst other things. People say it's depressing to listen to sad songs or watch sad films, but I never felt that way.
And yet, you are scared of fog?
Oh, that's different. I might be scared of fog, but I like spiders. They're beautiful.
You must be out of your mind, Mitzi.
No, honestly, there's a certain indescribable beauty in sadness. Just like there's beauty in the grey and ugly winter morning when you look past the obvious and notice what others can't see.
You must love my apartment then. It's like Ugly took a vacation here and never went home again.
Wie hat er die Neuigkeiten mit deinem Krebs aufgenommen?
How did he take the news about your cancer?
He thought I was joking at first. He laughed. Then he got really angry. I swore to him I was serious, but he still wouldn't believe me. We had a big fight that night. It was our first and only fight. But it was awful. He smashed some stuff. His guitar, of all things, was the worst. He loved that guitar. Why did he break it? He was absolutely furious. He walked out on me that night, and when he came back the next day, he was different. Begged me to try surgery and chemotherapy. I didn't really want those things, but I did the chemo for him. It didn't help. It just made me feel sick all the time. But I did the chemo for him. It didn't help. It just made me feel sick all the time. Maybe that's why I didn't see what my cancer was doing to Jack, and it was destroying him as well. He changed. He became obsessed with death. It seemed death was all he ever thought about, even though it was me, not him, who was supposed to die.
Wie ist er gestorben?
How did he die? How did Jack die?
It was so distant the last few weeks before he died. What I didn't know was that he kept looking for something. I don't think he even knew what exactly. But it eventually found him. Or rather, he found him. There are those forums online, you know, about all sorts of stuff. Fishing, computer games, horses, gambling, addictions. Everything, really. Accidentally, Jack stumbled upon one about suicide. Or rather, he found him. It's like a failed suicide club. People mostly try to help each other and offer support. Sometimes it just helps to know there are others like you, to listen to their stories and how they cope with their lives. But the eye of Adam is an advocate of death. He dwells on human weakness. His job is to plant an idea, to give them a reason to die and tell them how to do it, once and for good. Jack took the bait. Before he knew, he was completely brainwashed. One day he sat down with me and tried to explain his perfect solution. It was the Romeo and Juliet kind of scenario. We were both to die together in each other's arms. It was supposed to be a quick and foolproof death. There was no chance we would have been saved, all thanks to the eye of Adam, who created a tool for perfect suicide. He told me it was very simple. All we needed were 2 easily accessible household chemicals, which combined together create a gas called hydrogen sulfide that kills you within a couple of minutes. I told him he was fucking nuts, of course, but he just wouldn't give up. He reasoned with me, then he begged, and eventually just kept screaming at me. I figured it was his crazy idea of a modern romance, but it was downright tacky and just wrong. Finally, he said he would get everything ready and wait for me in our special place at dawn. 5 in the morning. Don't be late. Those were his last words he said to me. Then he stormed out. I cried for hours, thinking I didn't deserve all that from the person I loved most in the whole world. A few times I even tried to persuade myself that maybe he was right and I should do it. But I just couldn't. I eventually fell asleep. I didn't plan it. My head was killing me. I was so tired. I woke up suddenly. I could see the sun rising out my window. It was nearly 5. In utter panic, I threw myself off the bed and ran out the door. I needed to stop him. I needed to get there before it was too late. But right there in my bedroom, before I even left, I already knew it was. When I arrived at our special place, it was already bright. We used to go there in the past, drink wine, sometimes smoke weed and listen to Pink Floyd, sometimes make love in Jack's car. There wasn't really anything special about that old parking lot. But else there was. It was completely abandoned. It was quiet. It was safe. After that day, I've never gone there again.
So, Freunde, und was hier auf diesem Parkplatz passiert, sehen wir denn hoffentlich in der nächsten Folge von The Cat Lady. In diesem Sinne, bis zum nächsten Mal und ciao.